アメリカワイオミング州ジャクソンホール。牧畜で発達してきたこの町も今ではグランドティトン国立公園の入り口にある観光基地になりつつあります。ここはまた冬の間エルクの越冬地としても有名です。
今日は本当に前から会いたかったね、大変な大映画スターを紹介したいと思うんです。ハリソン・フォードさんです。何かどっかね本当に共感を持ってるその俳優さんだなと思っておりました。そしたら彼がやはりこの地方の自然保護に大変熱心な人だと友人のイボン・シュエナドさんから聞きまして、じゃあぜひ会いたい、時間のある時にゆっくり話しようと、ストリームトークをやろうということなんで、それで今日はカジュアルにリラックスしてたっぷりと話していただきます。大変大きな、牧場にこのハリソン・フォードさんの家があります。家といっても大牧場ですね。で彼はまず俳優の生活をしながらですね、このジャクソンホールに憧れ、あるいは気に入り、ここに一番自分の生活にフィットしてると、言ってるわけなんですけども、そのきっかけというか理由というかそういうものから少しお伺いしたいと思います。
Well, I don't live here part-time. I live here full-time. This is our full-time residence. Yeah.
I see.
My children are going to go to school here, and we're planning on making our life here. I grew up in Chicago,
I see.
and lived in California for 20 years while I was trying to make a career as an actor. And in the back of my mind all the time I was growing up and all the time I was in California, I was thinking about getting out of Los Angeles, getting out of California. We call California the silly state. We wanted to be out of California.
Yeah, I understand.
So we went, my wife and I would go on weekends to various places to see if we could find something that was like our dream. And for 2 or 3 years, we would go away whenever we could to try and find some place. And then we came here. And we came here from Idaho, driving. We came over the Teton Pass and looked down over this valley. And we both knew that somehow, psychically, we knew that this was the place.
Oh, I see.
And when we got closer and closer and closer, each thing was more delightful than the next. And we had these stupid grins. So I wouldn't let my wife go to talk to any real estate people till the grin went away. You know, we were too susceptible. And we looked in this, we spent 3 or 4 days here and decided that this was a really wonderful place to raise a family. And so we bought a house temporarily on the other side of town and began to look for a piece of land. And we looked at 10-acre pieces and couldn't find exactly what we were looking for. So we said, well, okay, we'll look at 20-acre pieces. And then we looked at 40-acre pieces. Then we were shown 100-acre pieces. And this place was always here. This is 800 acres that had never been developed.
800 acres.
800 acres.
Wow, yeah.
It's the same size as Central Park. But there was no road, no electricity, no imprint of man on this land, almost none at all. It had been used for grazing cattle. And because there are other big ranches around here, surrounding this property, the pressure of development on those ranches forced the wildlife that was on those ranches onto this piece of property. So we had eagles, blue herons, sandhill cranes, geese, ducks, other kinds of raptors. We have red-tailed hawk. We have osprey. A lot of wildlife, and many, many elk and moose. and deer
Yeah, yeah.
use this property.
Yes.
In fact, last fall, 200 yards from where we're sitting now, there were 400 elk in a big herd.
Yes.
So it has been, everything that we've done here, we've done in the last 5 years. And we've kept all of our development on this piece of property within a 3-acre envelope. And all of the rest of the property is either protected by a wildlife easement or a nature. We have an arrangement with a group called the Jackson Hole Land Trust to keep, to preserve the wildlife habitat that exists here in perpetuity, forever. And in no case may the development exceed what we will do here in the next couple of years, which will be to do what we've done now and perhaps build 2 more houses, one for each of my 2 older children. Nothing else will happen here. The Jackson Hole Land Trust and myself and my wife as stewards of this land will see to it that nothing changes for the wildlife, or that nothing changes except in a positive way for the wildlife.
ジャクソンホール周辺にですね、なんか気がかりな問題というか、そういうなんか住んでるうちにどうもこういうことは良くないんじゃないか、なんか問題が起こってるなって感じてるようなことがあるようなんですけども、そういった点について少し触れてもらいたいと思います。
Yeah, indeed. This is a very complicated community because there are a lot of people like myself who have lately come to this valley.
Yes, like me too.
And there are also a lot of people who have grown up here,
Yeah.
who grew up with a ranching lifestyle. They ran cattle, which is no longer a very profitable enterprise in America.
Yeah.
And these people are in a tight place. They're land rich and cash poor. And they have, in order to be able to give their children the land that they grew up on, in many cases they have to pay taxes, enormous taxes, inheritance taxes, we call them. And because they don't have the cash and can't get the cash out of their businesses, their cattle business, basically, a lot of these people have had to go into the land business. They've had to sell their land for development. And it means that there's less open space. There's less emphasis on agricultural and wildlife and scenic values, and more emphasis on construction and second homes for people from other places. And it's a very complicated issue. I don't find myself easily on one side or another because I know that it's a real dilemma for those people. But on the other hand, I have to work, and many of my friends work to try and figure out ways to help those people put their lands in the hands of people who will appreciate it for what it is now, rather than as a place to park houses. And it's very complicated. You can't really tell people what to do with their land. You try and influence them by example and by argument to do what we think is the right thing with their land. But it leads to some very complicated issues. And it also has developed a community that is somewhat polarized between the new people and the old people.
Yeah.
And I wish that it wasn't so, because I have a lot of respect for a lot of those people who've worked very hard all their lives to do what they've done. And they love the land in a way, but they love the land as a farmer or a rancher loves the land. They love it for what it does for their business, the cattle business. And I don't mean to say that they're only interested in money. They're interested in survival, which is not an easy question to deal with.
牧場が多いわけですよね。今の話聞いても分かりますように。で牧場っていうのはですね、牛を飼うと当然ね、その牛はどこでも歩き回りますから、マスの産卵源、まだトラウトスポーニングプレイスって言いますけども、そういうのを踏んづけで歩いてドロドロにしてしまうと。そのような問題のもっと大きなやつがですね、ここで起きてるんですよね。
Well, around here, most of the ranching is mostly hay fields, growing hay.
Yeah.
And the hay uses a lot of water, and they have to irrigate and divert streams. And when you calculate the gain that they get from growing hay, it's one big bale of hay is only worth $3.50 or something. And we have one rancher, very wealthy rancher here, who has diverted an entire trout stream into his hay fields. And I would guess he gets less than $50,000 a year from that hay, and it destroys the trout stream, which is probably much more valuable as a fishing stream than as water for hay. And it's, we have a land that's out of balance.
Yes.
We can't see which is value and which is not.
Yeah. How do you think?
Well, I think it's complicated because what you're talking about is saving the fishing stream for tourists, and the tourist economy is problematic as well. I mean, the asphalt that they have paving the parking lots of the motels in town here probably amounts to a couple or 3 square miles of land that could be used differently. But we have, because the ranching community isn't a viable economic reality, tourism is the second biggest industry. And I, as much as I agree with you that the water shouldn't be kept for one person's personal gain and unwisely used, I worry about the pressure of tourist development as much as anything else. I don't quite understand the concept of ecotourism.
Yeah.
I think they're contradictions in terms.
That's very.
I mean, I think education is what we want. Education is the main value of ecotourism. And if somehow the education could be accomplished without making a fad out of visiting endangered areas, and therefore putting more pressure on, all the better. But I don't know, nobody, the answers are hard to come by. They're not so simple.
Yes, I think so.
I think at one time, ranching was the proper use for the land, and probably at another time, tourism was the proper use of the proper economy for this place. But we reach a saturation point with any kind of economic endeavor to where we overwhelm the land. And I think that's what's happened in Jackson. Tourism is killing the place now. So what's the next economy? It can't go on constant growth. At some point, we have to go back to fewer people.
で、彼はもう一つ狼をなんか、保護しようと呼びかけているそうです。
A group of people, and I think quite a large group of people, who believe that the wolf, which has been extinct in this area because of the actions of people who keep livestock, they have poisoned and trapped and killed the wolf in this area. And we haven't had wolves here for how long? Yvonne, 20, 30 years, 40 years in this area. And there are many people, many wildlife biologists, people, students of the environment and the ecosystem here who believe that the wolf is critical to the mix of animals, to the environment here. It's a natural part of the environment and should be reintroduced. And then a great hue and cry comes from the owners of cattle and lambs, because the wolf has this legendary history, which in fact it does not reflect the behavior or the true nature of the wolf at all, but is a myth, the myth of the wolf, the savage wolf, dragging away babies and all of the rest of it, is complete rubbish. It is scientifically completely unfounded, and so there is a group of people who are trying to get the wolf reintroduced into the Yellowstone ecosystem, and they're facing this massive opposition from ranchers, sheep shepherds, and from the political community here, because their main constituency their most organized constituency are the ranchers and the livestock people. And through some twisted and perverted logic, they believe that this is some left-wing plot. You know, the wolf somehow is a communist.
Yeah, sometimes.
So the whole they're looking at the reintroduction of the wolf as the major obstacle. Let me rephrase that. They believe that the reintroduction of the wolf is an issue against which they must organize, because they think the whole environmental movement is anti-business, anti-progress, and they're trying to influence the public, and especially the political machinery, to stop the reintroduction of the wolf. They really want to wipe out the whole Endangered Species Act. They wanted to gain back control of what animals are listed as endangered species. And right now the president has this council of how many people? Something like 20 people that can decide what animals belong on the endangered species list. And they don't do it on the basis of scientific judgment. They do it on the basis of a combination of economic and political factors. And it's unconscionable, it's wrong, and it represents a grave injustice.
I have here, you know.
I have it there.
これは
Trifocals are there now.
今バッタとですね、小さな幼虫と小さな成虫とで、みんな3人違うものでやろうと言ってる。
午後は近くの川でフライフィッシングを楽しみます。同世代のせいかすっかり意気投合。スタンバイの合間にも冗談が飛び交います。
So how's the temperature?
I don't know yet. It didn't go down enough. Saying 60, it can't be 60. What is the water, about 52?
No, it...
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
57.
日本では16度、あのね、まあさっきからずっと話してるんですけどね、 まあ彼は子供まで連れてきてこういうところで本宅を引っ越した。自宅そのものを全部こっちへもう移してしまったと言ってるんですよ。やっぱりテレビを見てる人が見ると子供の教育はどうなんですかと思うと思うんですよね。その辺は彼はどのように決心をしたのか、奥さんはどう思っているのかですね、そこのところをちょっとお伺いしたいなと思います。
Well, I think the big cities have a lot to offer, and we are able to take, because of our lifestyle, we travel a lot. We do, we have a place in New York, and we go there maybe 2 weeks a year to go to the museums, go to concerts, see some theater, see some ballet, things like that. And I have 4 children, 2 older children, our age, and then younger children. The one who's 5 is crazy about museums. He loves the Natural History Museum, and I think that part of that experience, the experience of what a city has to offer, is available to my kids at various times. But what you gain by coming here is, I think, a different perspective. I see children, very young children, caught up in the energy and the tempo of city life. And they don't know how to relax. There's little kids that don't know how to relax and be quiet. And I think that's one of the things that nature teaches you, is a certain quietude. How to be peaceful. And I think that's maybe the most important thing in life to learn. How to be quiet. And the schools here are very good. I think we have a lot of very qualified professionals, good doctors, good teachers, good other lawyers, people that have been successful other places. And then they come back here because they want to live in a good place. So I think it's going to be a good experience for them to go to school here. I hope so.
自然と共にあるっていうことはもう本当生活丸ごとそこへやってくることだと思うんですね。でそれができるようにやっぱりしていく努力をやっぱりみんながしていかなきゃいけないんじゃないか。
自然に包まれてのフィッシング、この半日は3人にとっても充実した時間だったようですね。
ハリソン・フォードさんと話してるとね、でここに自分たちの理想郷を作ろうと、でそれをその第6回に忠実にやり続けていますよね。素晴らしいですね。教育の心配はないのかと問いかけたのに対して、いや少々の教育よりもですね、この自然を主として学ぶことの大きいと。だから少々の問題はいいじゃないか、それより大事なものがあるということをですね、やっぱり強く彼は主張したと思うんですよね。
地球を守る、これは決して難しいことではありません。立場は違っても一人一人が何かを始めれば、一人からの出発が地球を救うのではないのでしょうか。